Probably the two best hip thrust machines in existence. What's up, beautiful people? I'm a sweaty mess. I've been welding for 7 hours straight, took an hour break, and I'm down here for a leg workout because I don't want to miss out and I want to try out some of the cool machines I've modded. We worked on 21, 22 pieces of equipment, finally got to some legs. We worked on 5 or 6 glute machines. My glute collection is gonna be freaking legendary, guys, when I'm done. Absolutely freaking legendary. So real raw first reaction, check out these 2 pieces of equipment. No paint, no grinding. I haven't been able to finish these. It's literally just barely welded these on 2 hours ago. And I kind of took a break, came down for a leg workout. So trying this one out and another one out here in just a second for the first time. I like to use this piece of pipe I cut in half sometimes to stand on and plantar flex through my toes. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. But this is such a cool machine. This is the Bolt hip thrust. A lot of you have used this. A lot of you have this. Still my favorite hip thrust. Honestly, now it's made way better. So you can see what I did with the weight horns, which is always so good, but it didn't have any load at the beginning of the movement. You just got load at the end. It's like tension was really only there the last half of the movement. Now you can get tension through the entire range. But look at the range of motion I'm able to get with this machine. And you can see how I come up on my toes to accentuate it even more. So pressing through the toes works phenomenally well. But the cool thing is the adjustable platform on here, the shoulder pads. Look at the handles. See how the handles I can push myself against push the handles and push my shoulders into the shoulder pads to brace myself. Now, the only downside of this machine is the pad is too long. And it only works if I have an extra pillow underneath my back or it hurts my lower back too much. So if I could get a custom pad and shorten it, it would be perfect. The other potential downside with this machine is you start at the bottom. You know, it would be perfect. It would be a 10 out of 10 if you started the movement at the top, but you have to start the movement at the very bottom. So there's no sort of pre-stretch built into it. You just have to start at the very bottom, which isn't a big deal most of the time. But this thing just felt like money. Like that extra, I knew it would be good. I knew it would be good, and just enhancing the strength curve is phenomenal. Now, I didn't play with bands. I usually have bands on it, but I didn't have the bands on it. But man, I really like this. I really, really love this machine as it is. Now it feels like a 9 out of 10. Like I said, if the pad was a little shorter and I didn't have to start at the bottom, it would be perfect. Yeah, a lap pad is way better than a lap belt. Like the Nautilus Glute Drive, no bueno. I do not like belts. They're not very comfortable. All right, guys, so excuse the sweat, like crazy hot, crazy humid. I'm just like exhausted. So this is the second machine, standing hip thrust. So that first one I showed you the cool features, love that thing. This is always a cool machine. It just lacked tension in the bottom 2/3 of the movement. Now you can actually adjust it and get a crazy stretch and get tension through the entire range of motion. So much more versatile. So I knew changing both of these hip thrusts would just totally transform the machines. So here you can appreciate there's tension there. Just watch the translation of the load during the movement. This thing felt really, really, really good. The other thing I did not like about this machine is it takes like 4 or 5 plates to even feel anything on the original horn. So now you need much less weight and it's much heavier in the bottom position, as you can see. So I didn't even try, but I think it'll be even better when I put the bands back on. And I can kind of change the load. I'll put a little more load in the beginning. This is literally just first time using. So, well, you can appreciate the ability to adjust the load, to adjust the strength curve, and to load any part of the movement. So this is cool because this machine allows you to do a standing hip thrust, but it also allows you to do a standing RDL. And almost like a sissy squat. You are getting some quad activation depending on how far you have the thigh pad out, which is why I like this machine. You just have to do it under control. But the way I have the horns actually worked out absolutely perfect. I'll show you in a second from the side here. See, it goes right there, it drops off. So what's cool about this is it's that last 1/5 of the movement, last 1/6 or 1/7. It forces me to really shorten my glutes completely to get that contraction and that drop off. That's what's cool, is it's designed perfectly to kind of force me at that very top to get that peak contraction. So really cool. I think once I play around with bands and a little more weight on the beginning, it'll be even better. But this thing just totally transforms this machine. Now makes me actually want to use the machine. So I'll have to show you. I did about, I think, 4 other glute machines I didn't show you. You got to see some of the stuff. I mean, this is just, it just makes me super stoked. Some simple changes to some of these other glute machines completely knocks them out of the park. But both of these are absolutely freaking phenomenal. That first piece, I don't care if it's made in China or Thai. I don't care where it's made. It's the best hip thrust machine I've ever used. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's absolutely phenomenal. The shoulder pads, the handles, the depth, the adjustability, and now the freaking strength curve, unreal. And that standing hip thrust I'm actually going to use now. The challenge with it was always there was only tension the top third of the movement. Now there's tension the entire time. And it's much heavier, like you need much less weight. Unbelievable, like crazy feeling in the glutes. You guys are not going to want to miss all the crazy stuff I've got going on and that I've done. Stay tuned. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe below. Have an amazing day.